guest was voted NBA All-Star 11 times.
Wow.
I need a finger from you. 11 times. There it is. 11 times. He appeared in 7 NBA Finals. Still holds the record for most points scored in NBA Finals history. He's here talking about his wonderful new autobiography, Hang Time, My Life in Basketball. Please welcome Hall of Famer Elgin Baylor.
Welcome, Elgin. We're so excited to have you here.
I know. Just arguably one of the most celebrated players in the league history.
Yep.
But I love the beginning of where it all started for you. It was on a basketball court that you would sneak onto and not play basketball with a basketball, but with a tennis ball.
You know, it started with a tennis ball, and then we got a volleyball. We couldn't afford to get a basketball, and that, had started. And I have, 2 older brothers that they played basketball, and I used to just, tag along. They didn't really want me because I would get in the way. and it's just followed them. And then so happened, and I grew up and got a little better playing basketball, and just got into it, and that was the beginning of it.
Yeah. And this was growing up in D.C., just a little kid.
Yeah.
And you would sneak on the court. You weren't even supposed to be there.
Well, D.C., it was a segregated city at the time, and it was really a basketball playground. A playground with basketball swings and everything. It's probably like 200 yards from where I lived. Would walk, go over there to try to play, and the park police would run us off. Run us off. So we'd go there at night and play by the street lights. It was terrible. It wasn't fun, but I mean, we did that.
So you have accomplished so much on the court. I mean, honestly, an amazing player. Again, just like Mark said, arguably one of the best ever in history. But it's what you've done off the court that is equally as impressive. Tell us about the game in West Virginia that you decided to boycott and what happened because of it.
Well, when we got there, it was late. So happened the flight and everything. It was late, and so when we got to the a hotel or motel, whatever it was, we were waiting to go in, and the coach had gone in, and he's been there for a long, long time. We was wondering what the heck he's doing in there. And so finally, I went up there, and I was a captain of the team, and so I went up there and said, what's the problem? And then he said, well, we can't stay here.
Why weren't you allowed to stay there?
Well, it was a motel, it was a white motel, and I guess they didn't want blacks, in the motel.
And it was just yourself and another black player on the team?
It was a team.
The whole team?
The whole team. It was
really?
The whole team, So we were trying to figure out what to do. And then Hot Rod Hundley was from West Virginia, was his hometown. And Hot Rod was really upset about it because, think about it, he said he had been telling his friends and everything about me and everything else. We were good teammates. And so anyway, so I, told the guy, listen, if we're going to go someplace, we all stay together. If we don't stay together, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
See? And so what happened, so we couldn't, find a place. So finally, we found some place, I don't know where in the heck it was. It wasn't too far from Teresa's motel that would take us. Because we had, let me see, beside myself, there were 3 other black players on the team.
Yeah.
And so we stayed at some place, I don't know what the
That took everybody. But
so anyway, so what we're going to do, see, I said, well, I'm not going to play. So the coach, he's going nuts. So I said, well, just, hey. So he called the owner up, and the owner's name was Bob Short, and he was in Minneapolis. So he said, and was surprised, and he told the coach, he said, I don't care what you do, but you all stay together. Wherever you want to stay, I don't care where you stay, but you all stay together. And so happened the newspaper, somehow somebody else got it, and every day, somebody's calling and asking me about it, But it was, quite an experience.
But you wanted to boycott the game. You're like,
I told the guy, I told him, I said, wasn't going to play, and unless we all stay together.
That's a bold voice to have 60 years ago.
And it was the first boycott of that nature. No one had stood up like that, like you did before then.
And not being arrogant or cocky. I said, listen, what they going to do to me? I'm the captain of the team.
Right.
And everything else. You think that they're not going to do something to me to not play?
Yeah.
People want to see me play.
Sure.
Not being arrogant or anything.
But that's what a leader does.
Yeah.
A leader stands up, and that's why you were the captain of that team. So 3 years after you're drafted by the Lakers, you're drafted again, this time by the Army.
Different kind of draft.
A different kind of draft that happened, which came to a surprise to you. How were you able to juggle? Because you did both, right?
both, right.
How did you do that?
No, it was very difficult. It so happened, and I couldn't believe it because I was married,
Yeah.
had a kid thing, and
they still drafted you.
They were not supposed to. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. And so I talked to my the owner. His name was Bob Short, and he said, "Well, listen, I think the best thing to do is, accept it, go
Yeah.
play, So I asked him. I said, "Suppose it was you, in a situation." So he said, "I don't know, So what we decided to do, to play, said, well, how am I going to do that? Play. And so what they did, they set it up so that I could play. Then I had to report back. I could fly into the city night before and thing. And then the next day I had to fly back because so happened some colonel there, in the Army made sure that, and he would check and see if I'm there.
Of course.
Take an inspection to make sure. See? So I would do that and fly back.
But you really, you
Play
changed.
and meet the team, fly
Yeah.
back and go to
But you didn't practice with him? You just went in and played the game?
Didn't practice anything.
Well, he didn't need to practice. He
Yeah.
was the best in the league. They needed to,
No.
But truthfully, because of that, that colonel made those exceptions for everyone else. So you also opened the doors for your fellow brothers and soldiers to be able to go home on the weekends and see their families because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. That happened. And I didn't know it because when I went in the mess hall in the morning to eat, everybody stood up and started clapping.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was for.
Yeah.
They were clapping a few weeks ago for you too, when they put up that statue of you at Staples Center. How did that feel?
No, it's great. That they appreciate contribution that I made, whatever it was, how good or bad.
Yeah.
And I was very happy about it.
That's some good company that you're keeping.
You're not
I
kidding.
mean, look at that.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
and it's when you go. If anybody has a chance to visit Los Angeles, you can go to Staples Center and stand outside by those statues. There's a presence there of greatness across the board. Not only with the Lakers, Gretzky's, the whole. It's amazing to see. So.
What'd you think of that statue? They get you right?
Oh yeah. No, I
Yeah?
think it's terrific. I mean, I was just, couldn't believe. I mean, looking at the statues.
Yeah.
Looked like the players.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a great job.
Very handsome. Very
Yeah.
handsome statue.
Yes, exactly. We're a big fan of your statue. Bigger fan of you.
Bigger fan of you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Be sure to grab a copy of Hang Time, My Life in Basketball. It's available wherever books are sold.
And you all stick around because next up, Maria's cleaning up Christmas Corner. Right, Maria?
Yes, whether you're naughty or nice, everyone is going to want this lump of coal in their stocking.